Hi guys, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you're excited because I'm going to teach you how to do a forearm stand. So this is a really exciting pose for me. I remember years ago and I would watch other people do it and think there's no way in hell I'll ever be able to do it myself. And then with practice and a lot of perseverance, I'm finally able to do it today, and I would love to share my tips with you. So if you want to practice this at home, you'll just have to make sure that you are close to a wall and have a block as well. So let's go over the foundation of our forearm stand. It's pretty much a given that you need super strong shoulders and arms in order to support yourself in the pose. So coming down onto all fours in your tabletop stance, you'll come down onto your forearms first. Now from here, you'll want to make sure that your elbows aren't sticking out too wide and are staying about shoulder width distance apart. Palms are flat to the mat. Spread your fingertips as wide as you can and feel the finger pads grip into the mat. Your fingertips do so much work in forearm stand. They really are the key to helping you balance in the pose. So this is step one, forearms to the floor. Step two, just as if you were coming into downward dog, we're going to take dolphin pose. So you're curling the toes under and lifting the hips up and back. So once I'm in my dolphin pose, I need to really keep the crown of the head lifted off the mat. I'm pressing my chest towards my thighs, squeezing my biceps towards each other as if I was squeezing a big beach ball. So if you're already struggling in this pose, odds are you need to work a little bit more on shoulder strength and hold off on your forearm stand. Otherwise, you're lifting your heels as high as you can, walking the tips of your toes forward, so I'm getting my hips really close towards my shoulders already. And then with your strongest leg, you're gonna reach up towards the sky. So maybe this is enough here, and you're just gonna work at lifting, holding, and switching legs a few times until you develop enough strength in your shoulders. So if you are ready to get up to the next step, we're gonna kick and make our way into the pose. So I'm gonna reach my right leg up first because that's my strongest side, so I'm gonna work it first. I'm leaning my chest forward and I'm just taking tiny little kicks, tiny little hops, really using my core to lift my hips over the tops of the shoulders, and then maybe eventually my left leg will start to meet the right. Maybe it won't, no big deal. Keep looking straight down, in between the forearms, grip into the fingertips, squeeze the inner thighs together, reach through the toes. One long line, and come out by going back into your dolphin pose. Set the knees on the floor, and give yourself a few breaths. So if you're not quite ready to be doing a freestanding forearm stand like this, so without the support of anything else, you're gonna bring your mat over to the wall. So what the wall is going to do is it's going to teach you how much momentum you need in order to get your hips stacked directly over the tops of your shoulders. When you're first starting out, odds are you're gonna need to kick quite a bit in order to get both legs to hit the wall. Same thing as if you're doing a freestanding forearm stand. Over time, you're going to use the force of your legs less and less, and it's going to be your core that helps lift your hips and stack them over your shoulders. So some people are able to even float their legs up. I'm not at that point yet, but it is an option for those of you out there who are pretty advanced in your practice. So setting up to the wall, dolphin pose. Give yourself about a foot between your hands and the wall. Forearms down on the floor. Dolphin pose as you lift your hips up and back. Reach your right leg up towards the sky and kick up until both feet are pressing against the wall. So when you're here, what you're gonna work on doing is strengthening the shoulders. So keep trying to reach your tailbone up towards the heels. Notice if your elbows have a tendency to splay out to the sides here. Keep squeezing them in. Look down at the floor, and then you can start by leaning one leg or both away from the wall and finding your balance like that. It's a lot harder than it sounds. And then you always have the wall to catch you if you need it. To come out, one leg down, two legs down for dolphin, and set your knees on the floor. Here are a few tips that can help make your forearm stand a little bit easier to do. So using a block, this is an exercise I did a lot when I was first training, and I still do it from time to time. You're gonna take your block and press it in between your palms. Fingertips are facing forward. And these are just your little serratus push-ups. So you're working at drawing the shoulder blades back behind you and then pressing them out. What's important here is that I'm pressing the palms of my hand into the block. I'm isolating the upper body as I'm going through this movement. And the firmer you press against your block, the faster you'll start to feel the burn in the shoulders here. It's a really subtle motion, but it's an amazing way to start to build strength and isolate the muscles that are required when you're doing your inversion. So another one, once you've done maybe about a dozen or so of this, you're gonna reach your arms straight up, still holding the block, and then just bend at the elbows. So this is roughly the same shape that we're doing when we're in our forearm stand. Notice how the elbows want to splay out to the sides. Keep squeezing them in so your shoulder width distance apart. Try to lift your elbows up towards the sky and press into your block. So holding here for about 10 or so seconds, press into the block as much as you possibly can. And then we're gonna extend the arm straight up and lowering it down on the mat. Second exercise I'll recommend are dolphin push-ups. So let's get into our dolphin pose. Forearms flat on the ground, elbows and palms about shoulder width distance apart, maybe a little narrower, curling the toes under and lifting the hips up and back. So for these push-ups, normally we try to keep our elbows directly underneath the shoulders. For this one, you're gonna dip forward, so bending the elbows, letting the shoulders drop down, and then press into the palms to press your way back into your dolphin pose. So inhale, forward, exhale, press back. Let's do a few more. Inhale, forward, exhale, press it back. So doing about a dozen or so of these, you will absolutely feel your shoulders, your triceps, and your lats getting stronger. Setting the knees onto the floor, and let's release. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. Remember, the most important thing when it comes to difficult poses like these and inversions is to stay consistent and practice. Don't do like what I did for so long and practice your inversions like crazy for a week and then not do anything for a month. I did that a long time and it really delayed my progress. Set a schedule for yourself if you're really trying to work on a pose, and don't give up. These things take time. There's no need to rush through them. There's no need to get hard on yourself if you don't get it right away. It's not a big deal. The pose will come with time, and maybe it doesn't. And if it doesn't, that's a great opportunity for you to practice non-attachment. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Have a great day. Namaste.